Hey guys, Casual Crono here. I was playing around with the Astral Archives and got around to the Book of Sovereign. And let's switch back. In order to Stellar Awaken Guildna, you have to defeat the Book of Sovereign Stella challenge. Guildna has to be in the party, and you have to clear with 4 or fewer allies. So, my first time doing it, I stuck with the tried and true Sesta Shiguri combo, Guildna, because he's required, and Tsubame Altar. My thought process when I formed this team, I actually initially thought I might just throw Guildna in the back row and just let the three of them, fight it out. And I'm kind of glad I didn't, because there's a little mechanic at the beginning that's a bit annoying. So, gear-wise, I had Guildna's personal weapons, and I was just lazy and left them on. And it's a +1. It's not like it does that much. So I guess I could, if I was smarter, switch to like the Elpis sword or something like that. But I might just go ahead and do that. But personal armor badge, I've just found something that had power, MP consumption, a couple of power of pains, combo enhance rate, and power of offense wind, even though he is a fire user. My thought process was Guildna's not going to be doing much damage. I'm going to let Sesta take care of everything. The other three, geared super boss style, Elpis, Lepid, winged ones, few Grasta, Sesta, pretty much same as always. And Shiguri, I swapped out a few like Power of Gale Katana, Power of Awakening Katana, Enhance of Max HP Katana, because I didn't have like Tome and Atoa in the back who normally hold those. So his hit points are a little low for a tank, but he's kind of a dodge tank, so I figured it'd probably be fine. And a lot of the characters have things for AF combo rate increases. Oh, almost forgot. Sidekicks. Tetra and Moke. Tetra for the heal after every turn and enhancement of resistances. And Moke because when we get weak point damage, which Sesta always does weak point damage because she has an expose, everyone's critical damage goes up by 30%. So I figured, nice, easy. Easy as far as Stella goes. And I'll be able to win the fight and get the star charts. So, that's exactly what I did.
Who should I kill?
And at the start of the fight, enemy Guildna said only sovereigns can participate in the fight. And my other 3 characters were all stunned. So I did not expect that. So I started playing around thinking that maybe the stun lasts a turn or 2. So the first thing I always do is debuff. Power down, int down. Tetra was keeping my Guildna alive. So then I did a buff, Celestial Saber, thinking that maybe the team would eventually, come out of it. And I noticed Guildna has an MP attack. So then I did Calamity. And I noticed it did a lot of damage on enemy Guildna. But my team was also still stunned. So I'm not liking that at all. So I basically just kept attacking until I beat enemy Guildna. And that's when he got mad.
Did you think you could beat me?
However, doing that allowed the rest of my team to actually participate. Now, enemy Guildna had a few tricks up his sleeve. Surprise, surprise. So, he has an MP attack. He can release Chaos Zone, and he had a few other nuisances. But I noticed he wasn't doing that much damage to the team. Well, so what I did once I gained control of my team, I hit cease, so that way he would go into his tank mode, his Vajra Blade mode. I think I just did a Wicked Wolf sweep initially. I think I'm going to go ahead and blow a Twin Blade Wolf this time around. That's right. Fierce Feline Storm buffs the character to the right, and I placed Sesta to the right. So I did Fierce Feline Storm and Wicked Wolf sweep. That way she would be buffed for her Twin Blade. And I went ahead and redid Distortion because I noticed his debuffs were gone. So you can see he's not doing that much damage. He does buff himself, he does heal, and he does drain my MP. So I do have, however, now an AF gauge to work with. So that's exactly what I did. I've cast Cease and Fierce Feline Storm, so the ones that are missing are the 2s, the Winds of War and Bolstering Kie, and Celestial Saber, which is Guildna's buff. I always put the buffs in the second skill slot. So I'm going to do all of the 2s and then all of the 1s. So 2, 2, 1, because Wicked Wolf sweep, why not? And then 2. So 2, 2, 1, 2. And then all 1s. And now I'm watching for a good moment to do a Twin Blade Wolf. Guildna's health is down, so I can use this moment to go ahead and recast all the 3s. He revives.
This is your end.
And he will kill one of the, well, knock out. He will knock out one of the party members. He did Tsubami the last time I did this fight as well, so I'm not sure if he always goes for the second slot or if it's just random and it just happened to be Tsubami both times. Now, the last time I did this, I had gone an extra turn or two and I was able to reincarnate with Tetra. But I can't do that right now, so I'm just going to hold off. So I'm going to attack, attack, and attack. It didn't feel like he had that much health. A normal Twin Blade Wolf and not in a win zone was able to knock him out. So I don't think the damage requirements for this fight are anywhere near the level of like challenge modes or the weapon tempering, for example. But you do need at least someone that can do probably a couple million damage. When this fight drug out a little bit the first time I did it, as I mentioned, I had enough turns under my belt that I was able to immediately reincarnate Tsubami and stick her back in the front line. It was around that time that he released Chaos Zone, and he also did a mana drain on Shiguri. So Shiguri was kind of not able to do any additional attacks. He just had to swing his sword a few times. So, ways to counter that. As you could tell, it wasn't totally necessary to have really awesome sidekicks like Tetra. I could use Gunt's AS style as a sidekick. I think I could also probably pull this off without Tsubami. I think I could throw in a character like Melody, for example. I'm not even sure how important Shiguri is, so let's change it up a little bit. Let's do Shani. Actually, you know what? Let's go old school. Soira. Haven't used her in a while. And Guildna was holding one of the Power of Pains with the combo rates. I don't really feel like I needed the combo rate that much. The AF gauge, a Twin Blade Wolf was enough, so I can probably just get away with... Let's do that. Power of Agony. I'm thinking maybe Power of Agony with Bullseye and Elpis might actually speed up that first phase of the fight. So now the new team still have Sesta, another style. Kind of hard to get, or I don't want to say hard to get, but she's probably the rarest among them. Soira, most everyone has a 4-star Soira, and Melody has been out a very long time. So it would not surprise me if a lot of people have Melody, for example. Gunts and Moke, you need Valette and Thalil Lily. In fact, you know what? Let's try making this a little bit, not him, her actually. Oops. Let's go with Iridian. And, who would be a good free one? I kind of want to do Kurobo, because that will lower his damage. Kurobo's aura. Anything that takes fire damage will have a permanent power and int decrease, but Guildna's going to do that to my team as well, so I would have a permanent power and int decrease. Let's see, who else is free? Well, let's look at Kumaru. What was Kumaru's ally? Slash resistance. 300 or above. He's a slash user. And Sesta is a slash user. And her speed is 300 or above. Okay. Well, let's see if we can do the Stella fight with this team. Free sidekicks.
Let's get to work.
Soira's pretty common, so the only characters you might not have are Sesta and Melody. So, Distortion. Now I have a little bit of MP regen from Iridian. Saber. Get that buff going. With the Bullseye ore, he's definitely doing a lot more damage. So let's see what Calamity does now. Oh yeah, that was nice and quick. Alright, now the fight begins.
Did you think you could beat me?
He would have cleared the zone. We have a win zone now. And you know what? Let's just see how quickly we can finish this fight. I'm going to do... Let's see. I'm going to blow the AF gauge. I think in his case, I'm going to do Distortion, Depravity, Wicked Wolf, and... Foi Sincere. Why not? Actually, let's make it simple. Elemental Guard. So do 3, 3, 1, 3, then 2, 2, 1, 2, and then all ones. 3, 3, 1, 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, and then all ones. Got in a Twin Blade. Alright. There goes the first life.
This is your end.
He once again took out someone in the second position. So that's 3 fights in a row that I've witnessed the second position going away. So unless you have some way of reviving or hold ground, maybe, I haven't tested that one. So Floor Breeze, Twin Wolf. We'll do a Distortion. So I guess don't stick Sesta in the second position, just in case. There you go. What was that, like 4 turns? Something like that. So, if you want to Stellar Awaken Guildna, and you happen to have some of those characters, or some substitutes, that worked. So sidekicks, Iridian and Kuamaru. Guildna is required. A heavy damage dealer of some kind, in my case, Sesta. And then, I don't really know if a tank was really all that necessary, to be honest, but this is what worked for me, so hopefully you can find something similar. Once you beat the fight, you have all the necessary star charts to Stellar Awaken Guildna. And one of the things I've been doing off the screen, yay, I've been trying to get all of the free characters up to 80 points. In his case, 81, I guess. So Amy, Cyrus, Rika, etc., the ones that have not yet gotten Stellar Awakened, let's be honest, at some point they probably will. So I just went ahead and I got them all to 50, light and shadow at first, and once they were all at 50, then I started working them all towards 80. In fact, I have my farming team. Altina is one of the last ones. I have her at 77 now, and I've been running Underworld non-stop with my green keys. So closing in on her because I'm really expecting her to get some type of awakening soon. And Fine, just bragging points, she's almost at 255. Yay. So, you've Stellar Awakened Guildna. As always, getting his stellar skill is usually top priority. I haven't even looked at these yet, so let's see. Based on user's level, normal attack strength increases. And he executes distortion automatically. I'm cool with that. Basically, he hits harder, and he reduces the enemy's power and intellect a little bit automatically at the start. So I think that's a good choice. Alright, that's the usual. If you have 3 or more of something in the front line, you store up power. That's a good choice. Alright, so if shadow power is greater at the point of stellar bursting, he gets 20 power and 2,000 extra health. Well, he's not a tank, so that health may or may not matter, and 20 extra power isn't that much in the grand scheme of things. So if you don't have many SP points to spend, I might consider avoiding this tree and instead at least trying to get him to level 90, because right away that'll give him 10 strength points along with 10 endurance, 10 spirit, etc. as he levels. So you're going to gain half of the power through that, and you're going to gain 10 levels worth of hit points. So either you gain a bunch of power and hit points for 5 turns when you stellar burst under a certain condition, or you have a permanent increase in power and health, not quite as much, but whatever you naturally get from levels 80 to 90. So, now fortunately, I don't have to worry about making that kind of a choice, but I frequently will skip one part of the tree in order to give myself at least 10 extra levels. You can see, if I sort by level, a lot of my Stellar Awakened characters, pretty much all of them I think, now that I'm thinking about it, I've opened up at least the path to level 90 for everyone. So even if they don't have much shadow or light. So you can see I skipped this ability in order to give myself 10 extra levels, because I don't feel like a 50% damage increase for some characters for one turn is worth sacrificing 10 levels for. So don't feel like you have to go and get the character's abilities first. It's your game. You play however you want. So anyway, I hope this helps. Go Guildna. Casual Crono, signing out.